IVM.
Security on a computer is like a layered cake. No matter how secure each layer may be, attackers and hackers will work tirelessly to find a vulnerability and exploit it. These cyber attacks can sneak into a system unnoticed, eventually gaining access to all the programs and files on your computer stack. Luckily, with the Intel vPro platform, all of this is avoidable. Intel vPro has the Intel Hardware Shield, which adds protection to every layer of the computer system with 3 groups of security capabilities. Advanced Threat Protection, which helps quickly detect and remediate the latest ransomware and crypto mining attacks on the system. Below the OS Security, which helps identify unauthorized changes to hardware and firmware. And Application and Data Protection, which helps prevent memory corruption and malware injection. So secure your organization's productivity with hardware-based security only with Intel vPro. Visit www.intel.in/IT-heroes to know more. Intel vPro, built for business. You are the most valuable investment you will ever make. Hi, I'm Zarina Poonawala, your leadership coach, life coach, and emotional intelligence coach. You probably know me from the Empowering series, and this is my new show, The Life Manifesto with Zarina Poonawala. I'm going to coach you to be the best version of yourselves. So get ready to create, attain, and manifest the life you've always desired and make it your reality. You know when someone gives you a compliment, how you absolutely love it? I was recently in this conversation with a client of mine, and we talked about being validated. And out of the blue, out of nowhere, my client asked me, Zarina, what is the best compliment you've received? Now, to most people, this question would take you by surprise and you would think of an answer. It would take you time to answer. But to be honest with you, it was extremely easy for me. And it wasn't hard at all for me to give that answer. I want you to think of this while I'm answering this question, but I would like you to think, what's the best compliment you've received? For me, it was easy because the best compliment I said that I've received is that you are the most courageous woman I have ever met, and that your courage is contagious. That's right. I was told this by somebody some years ago, that I am the most courageous woman they've met, and my courage was contagious. And that still stands to be the best compliment I've ever received. It resonates with me to my solar plexus. It literally resonates all the way, every bit of me to my bones. And I feel like it is so much bigger, so much more important to me than anything physically appealing, like you're beautiful or pretty or you have a decent voice or whatever it may be. Just the fact that somebody thought I was courageous meant the world to me. And in fact, that's the reason why it wasn't difficult. And when I'm thinking of it, it wasn't difficult for me to answer that question, because this was the most unique, the most beautiful compliment I ever received. What about you? What's the most beautiful compliment you've received? And while I'm on the topic of courage, let me ask you this. Do you take rightful stands for yourself or people around you, sometimes those who are slightly more oppressed than you are? Do you kind of feel afraid of change because you fear the process and the discomfort that actually comes with it, like changing cities or, professions or jobs, and probably starting your own business or your venture at an age where you want to plan early retirement, where most people plan early retirement? Do you feel afraid of change because you fear the process and the discomfort that actually comes with it? Change isn't easy. It's just necessary. But changing cities or professions or starting your own business venture at an age where probably most people are planning early retirement, or let's say even the courage to walk out of an unhappy relationship. Do you kind of feel afraid of change because that change requires you to be a little uncomfortable, and that change requires courage? Do you find it difficult to take that leap of faith, the courage to ask for that appraisal that you most likely deserve? or raise your hand in the team presentation? Do you ever feel like only if I just had a little more courage, I could have done so much more? If, just if. That brings me to a very interesting story. You've heard of Sparta, right? You've heard of Sparta. You've heard of the Spartans. We've watched movies like Gladiator. And recently, we've even watched shows like I've watched this show called Spartacus. There's this really interesting story that goes around with the Spartans and sort of history, ancient history, if you may. But it's quite interesting. So let me just share that with you. A long while ago, there was this King Philip II of Macedon, and he was conquering a lot of Greek cities and states, in fact. So he was conquering all of Greece and at a very, very fast pace. But somehow, he hadn't yet touched upon Sparta. And he realized that. And so, what he did is, King Philip, he decided that, I am so victorious and I am winning each and every war and I'm invading every part of Greece. So I'm going to send out this message to Sparta, because at this point in time, Sparta was actually relatively weak. And in fact, it didn't have boundaries, it didn't have walls. And, there were less people in Sparta also. So King Philip II decided to send a message to the Spartans. And in this message, it said, if I invade Laconia, you will be destroyed, never to rise again. The Spartans, they replied back, of course, and they did revert to this message from the king. And you know what their reply was? Their reply was literally one word, two letters. Just one word. And that word was if. That's right, if. The word if was enough to scare off that king and that invader of the time. He did not land up attacking Sparta at all. In fact, he kind of bypassed it. And in fact, nor did King Alexander at the time. Sparta remained as is. Although they were weak, although they did not have walls, they didn't have a periphery, they still managed to keep it intact without being attacked, at least at that time. And it all happened because they sent back a letter saying, if. That's it. This goes down as one of the most powerful messages sent in history, just by the way. This was enough to scare him off, this King Philip II. Why do you think that happened? In my understanding, it wasn't because of the reply. In terms of the word itself, it was more to do with the underlying courage that you could see a group of people showcasing and letting their invaders know that, hey, you know what? We aren't afraid of you. So bring it on, because we are enough and we will fight you with all the might and all we have. All they had to do was have the attitude and the courage to be able to show them that, you know what? We have it in us. So don't mess with us. That's the power of being courageous. You can fight if you want, you can divert something if you want, you can overcome a situation, all with this powerful choice that you have in your hand. And trust me, it doesn't always mean standing on the forefront and taking up a war. You don't have to pull out your weapons and arsenal all the time. No. It also means finding solutions without letting your fear overpower you. It surprises me, sometimes when people casually say, I don't have the courage for this, I only wish if I could. And somehow people complicate courage with luck. They say, if I was just as lucky as you, I would have done this. And oh, I wish I was in your place. And you just got so lucky. And only if I had the chance that you got. Not quite, my darlings, not quite. Those who took up the mantle and decided to struggle their way up, they were courageous enough to embrace change, failure, to embrace being judged, being rejected. They had the courage to face all those who had no faith in them. And most of all, they had the courage to not give up. So there is no point in wishing. Because if you think courage meant being fearless, you're absolutely wrong. The act of courage is never about the absence of fear. In fact, it is taking your fear harnessing it and using it to multiply your courage. The biggest myth we have around this whole word, courage, is that we've been taught this from a very, very young age. And let me tell you, it's probably the worst thing you've been taught. And that is, courage is something we need only when we are challenged or we are having difficulties or we have trying times in our lives. That's wrong. That's a myth. We need courage all the time. And I like to call this intuitive courage. Intuitive courage to be able to talk to a stranger, to tell someone you love them, to make a difficult business decision, to say that big fat no to somebody, to let your kids leave your humble nest, or for kids to grow up and start their own journeys. You need courage, you need intuitive courage to live with those who might be making your life difficult, who are difficult to live with. And you need courage to live without those who you thought that you couldn't live without. You need courage to raise your hand in a meeting, to ask for a raise, and subconsciously we all have that intuitive courage. But when bigger things happen in our lives, we allow fear to overpower the ability to deal with the situation. That's all it is. We just allow the fear to overpower us. That's all we do. And the most fascinating part here, let me tell you, is that we have 100% full in terms of courage. 100% full. You know why? Because courage lives side by side, like Siamese twins, like siblings, side by side, with fear. And if you fear, you are capable of courage too. And fear isn't your enemy. Succumbing to fear is. Just succumbing to it. You've just got to rise a little above that. And you know what the most fascinating part about this word, courage, really is? That we have it in 100% capacity. We have it in us. All of us do. And you will say, oh, you're just giving us a pep talk. And no, I'm not. I'm not. Because you know why? Because you have fear. You have courage. If you are capable of feeling fear, which we all do, it's a natural part of our neurology. We use fear for a lot of things, and actually it helps us in dangerous times. So fear isn't going anywhere, hence, nor is courage. You just need to keep this in mind, guys. Fear isn't your enemy. You don't have to be fearless and, oh my God, I can face anything and I'm so fearless. No, fear isn't your enemy. Succumbing to it is. So when our life's philosophy is to love, to live, to act, and to transform with courage, it's always going to be worth it. So make a choice and choose courage and ask yourself, what philosophies do you live by? What's the best compliment you've received? And what's your life manifesto? Do what you love and do it often. And if you don't like something, go then, change it. Thank you for tuning in to The Life Manifesto with me, Zarina. If you find the show useful, then please share it with your friends, family, and co-workers. You never know. You may just help someone become the best version of themselves. And if you want to align your life with some signature masterclasses, certification courses, and live sessions with me, go check out and download my app, Life Manifesto with Zarina Poonawalla, available on Play Store or Apple Store. And if you have any suggestions or anything that you would like to share with me, get in touch with me on my social media handles. I am at Zarina Poonawalla on Instagram and LinkedIn, and at Zarina Speaks on Twitter. See you in the next episode.
Hey everybody, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus is joined by two youth leaders from the United Nations We the Change campaign, Akhilesh Anil Kumar and Garvita Gulhati. They talk about why plastic and water are the major issues that need attention immediately. On the Wire Talks, author and journalist Pallavi Iyer tells Siddharth about her latest book, Oriented, an Indian in Japan. On KBCD, we meet entrepreneur Manish Vyas, who talks to Farhad and Sunetra about the world of queer-owned businesses and the challenges they face. On Tere Mere Raste, Keshav takes us to India's biggest man-made lake, Bhopal Tal. And on Yuddha, we discuss how Akbar's fury led to creating a world-changing empire for the Mughals. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our others for that matter, please do tell a friend. We really appreciate you spreading this. Word of mouth helps a lot. And finally, this week, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Cred, Bank of Baroda, Quarter, CoinSwitch, Kuber, Slay Coffee, and Intel. We really appreciate the support.
Habits? Routines? How exactly do they help us get better? Well, to simplify it for you, tune in to the Habit Coach podcast. I am Ashdin Doctor and I'm going to be here to help you get better daily with some simple, easy to do habits that you can easily adapt to your life. So tune in to the Habit Coach podcast from Monday to Friday because I believe that awesome lives start with awesome habits.